A deep three by Ball is off the rim, no good. Sure, the rebound, 5 seconds left. Wildcats racing the other way. Trier quickly down. Trier drives for the bucket, lay it up, it is good! At the horn, Lonzo Trier coast to coast. Take that, Paulie.
Wildcat Basketball Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the official U of A debit card, voted Best Bank Credit Union and Best Debit Card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org.
Welcome to another edition of Wildcat Weekly with head coach Sean Miller. The Wildcats are home this week against the Washington Schools Cougars here on Thursday night, Huskies on Sunday afternoon. And Coach, Wildcats coming off a sweep of LA. It's never easy to sweep on the road, although your team has now done it twice this year. But two outstanding wins over arguably the toughest two teams to beat on the road. Talk about the weekend in general.
Well, you're right, Brian. I mean, going to LA has historically been a tough trip for every team, not just Arizona, but it has been for our program as well. And the reason you get there, you're playing against quality players and teams, and especially this year. I think you have UCLA, which is exceptional, and USC, which is a tournament team. And when you play them, you recognize how talented they are. And without Benny Boatwright, they're still very talented. When he comes back, I think they go to another level as well. But we did a great job being ready to go. I thought we played with a lot of confidence on the road, which is great to see. And, against USC, the first half was as good of a defensive half as we've had. We let our guard down in the second half. Some of that was probably USC making some shots. They played small. We wore down a little bit. And some of it was something that we need to guard against, and that is playing the scoreboard as opposed to playing each play as if it matters the most. Going into UCLA, we talked a lot about that, and then having Alonzo rejoin our team was a big shot in the arm. I think you almost felt it during that game, that just depth, just having another player who can really play, whether it be firepower on offense, resting the players that have played without him more, and just defensively. Alonzo had 7 defensive rebounds in that game. I don't know if a guard other than Kadeem has had 7 defensive rebounds this year. So I think you see that with him, we go to another level, and you felt that against UCLA.
What was that like for you that first time you looked down the bench and called Alonzo's name?
It was surreal. It really was, because none of us knew, including Alonzo, when and if that time would come. And just to have the opportunity for him to play, I was happy for him. And you get into the game, like you had mentioned, especially a game as pivotal as the one that we were playing in, to have him available meant a lot towards the success and the outcome.
You talked about it, and the players talked about the game after the game at Pauley. The addition of Alonzo, let's put his stats aside, the depth that he adds, that everybody felt fresher. They got to come out of the game and catch their breath. When they went back in, they just felt a lot more energized. How does that help your team now going forward?
It helps us a lot. A lot of times as the calendar goes from January to February, and you're entering the second half of conference play, you've been at this a while, whether it's the number of practices you have under your belt, playing teams now for the second time instead of the first time. You worry about complacency. You worry about concentration on a daily basis in between games. You worry about that consistent effort, because you're going to get everybody's best shot, and you have to be ready each and every time out. And our team is somewhat unique in that we are energized. We have something that we haven't had, and you're adding depth, you're adding a quality player, when a lot of times just the opposite happens at this time of year. So we have to take advantage of that. We have to take advantage of that not just on game day, but in between games, because I think our team has a big upside, a bigger upside than maybe we did 2 weeks ago.
When you are on the go, you need your credit union to be right there with you. Hughes Federal Credit Union makes your life easier, offering tools to organize your finances and keep your payments up to date and you on track for your future. You also want a financial institution you can trust and cares about the things you do. For 60 years, Hughes has called Southern Arizona home and has given back to our community, investing in the causes that make our area a better place to live. Isn't that who you want as your financial partner?
Wildcat Basketball Weekly continues, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Show your Wildcat spirit with a U of A Visa debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org.
So a lot of attention on Alonzo's return, deservedly so. But Lowry Markkanen, your freshman, had a great weekend over in Los Angeles and rewarded because of that.
He did, and I thought Kobe Simmons was outstanding as well against UCLA, arguably the best player in the game with Lowry. But Lowry, deservedly so, got the Pac-12 Player of the Week, and I was happy to see that. But his shooting percentages, if you look at what he's done inside the Pac-12, he's shooting 60% from the field. He's shooting 60% from three, over 80% from the line. He's as efficient of an offensive player as we have had, and he's really stepped up in big games. And a lot of times freshmen at this time of year, they no longer are freshmen because of the experience they have under their belt. And I sense really in all three of their cases, Raleigh, Lowry, and Kobe, that each of them is finding their stride, that they're more advanced, more sure of themselves now than maybe they would have been in early December. And, if there was a gift that we received to not have Alonzo and to play without Parker for so long, it forced our younger players to have the biggest roles you could have. And I think they learned a lot in our non-conference that set the tone here for our conference play.
All right, quick note on this week. Thursday night, Washington State comes to town. That means that Josh Hawkinson comes to town. I guess we call him Mr. Double-Double, one of the best players in the Pac-12. Tell us about his impact.
No, he's one of those players that you feel like has been playing for Washington State for about 6 years now, because he was good as a freshman and he's done nothing but get better. But rebounds at both ends, an efficient offensive player who can shoot the ball. And his statistics back up the claim that you just mentioned. And, Washington State has had some really good wins in the first 7 games. They went on the road and beat Washington. They were very, very close to beating Cal at Cal, played them extremely tough, just coming off a big home win against Colorado. So, I think they're having a good season, having a very good start to a Pac-12 season. And, Brian, every game represents new challenges. And what just happened, which in our case is UCLA, it's great for us to have a bunch of confidence moving forward. That's healthy. But you can't rely on what happened. It's about doing it again and having a great week and being as ready as we can for the Cougars.
All right, Cougars on Thursday night, Huskies on Sunday afternoon, and we'll see you next time on Wildcat Weekly.
Thank you for watching Wildcat Basketball Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the free U of A Visa debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.